Hello everyone! I was going to make pretty unusual video this time, and it turned out to be pretty experimental and interesting. I believe that episode 72 will be released relatively soon, and what I'm also sure of is that Gman will be one of the leading roles in the next episode. So today I would really like to talk about him some more, but the thing is that I already have a video dedicated to Gman on my channel. So I decided to do something more interesting and fun instead. I want to compare Gman from 3 different multiverses with our original Jimmy from Boom's Skibidi series in order to see how this character changed and grew in other creators' works. And by the end of the video, you guys should write in the comments below what Gman you consider to be the best. And what do you think of this new experimental format of this video? Because if you'll really like it, then I'll probably make another video like this in the future. Now get your tea and snacks ready and sit comfortably, because this is going to be really fun. Let's go. I am going to divide this video into 3 parts, because I decided to compare the original Jimmy with Gman from 3 other Skibidi multiverses, which are Zombie Universe by Monster Up, and Skibidi Multiverses by No Skill Clutch, and by Dom Studio. And to spoil the things for you a little bit, Jimmy is always different, and doesn't behave the same way in any of these cases because every creator decided to give him a unique story and character. And even if you aren't aware with multiverses yourself, don't worry because I'm going to describe everything for you and you'll definitely find it entertaining. And if you actually watched any of them, then try to guess in the comments which is my personal favorite multiverse of all. And I'll pin the winner comment under this video. Okay, now let's start with Gman from Zombie Universe from the creator Monster Up. So guys, as we all know, Gman appeared in Boom's original series for the first time in episode 7 as the great villain and the commander of Skibidi Army, and it was before we even knew about Skibidi scientists' existence who turned out to be higher in rank than Gman. And honestly guys, I can say a lot of both pleasant and harsh words about Gman as a character throughout his evolution in the series, because he showed himself as an epic, scary badass and a total coward at the same time. And I even got to doubt him a few times while watching the original show, namely his boldness, strategic knowledge, or level of basic intelligence, because sometimes our Jimmy behaved pretty smart and fought really fierce. But then he could show a completely different side of his character. And we as viewers realized it only later than the original Gman stopped acting against the Alliance forces directly a really long time ago and replaced himself with multiple clones or decoys instead, which actually explained the drastic difference in his major behavior. So what I'm trying to say here is that the original Gman as a character is incredibly complex and has lots of layers. But what's still obvious after all is that he never showed his good or kind side in Boom's series because he's the main freaking villain. Well, maybe he has his competitors now by the end of the series in a form of Astro Toilet, the secret agent and the late Skibidi scientist who is not really a threat to anyone anymore. But he had never been a good guy. And that's why I'm really excited to compare the original Jimmy to the Gman from Monster Up's Skibidi Zombie Universe. Gman from Skibidi Zombie series is completely different from the original vicious Jimmy. I mean, just take the fact that he fights on the side of the Alliance in the moment when zombie virus conquers the world of Monster Up series. Not only did he manage to survive the infection, which Skibidi scientists couldn't do by the way and got turned into a zombie, but he also behaves as a total Chad and reminds me more of the heroes from the 90s American action movies. Just these 2 facts allow me now to call him G-Chad, so you wouldn't confuse him with the original Jimmy if you don't mind. And he's not just pretty strong on his own in this universe, but he is also able to infuse himself tremendously with the usage of the secret superweapon called X-18 Cannon, which he uses as a tool to reinforce his core body and become basically unstoppable and godlike in terms of combat power. But with all that, he still continues being very humane and moralistic too, which deserves my huge gesture of respect. And by the way guys, you can show your reactions to him as well in my personal Discord server, so don't forget to subscribe to me there because I post lots of exclusive stuff in there for my subscribers only. But let's go back to G-Chad now. As I already said before, this guy has a lot more feelings in this zombie universe because in episode 11 he even showed the lack of any desire to destroy the zombie versions of his comrades or former friends, which is so freaking wholesome to see. Can we expect the same level of loyalty from the original Jimmy though? Apparently not really, because it looked like he simply betrayed Skibidi scientist in Boom's episode 71 and ignored the massive fight where everyone and their mothers participated in, which resulted in Skibidi scientist's complete destruction. Do loyal comrades ever behave like this? I don't think so. So that G-Chad from Monster Up series definitely wins in terms of moral power. Although let me say that I'm going to do the final comparison amongst all the G-men later in my analysis, so watch this video to the end to get to the juiciest part. Who's going to be the best and coolest G-man of them all? You'll find it out very soon. And now let's talk about G-Man from the Skibidi Multiverse by the creator No Skill Clutch. And it's really interesting to discuss, especially if you've never seen this series. So No Skill Clutch started as an animator on YouTube who loved doing his fan animations based on the original Skibidi content. He switched the enemy's sides though, and it was really ridiculous and funny to see, for example, he put cameramen into toilet tanks and gave Skibidi legs and hands. But then he found the potential to make his own plot-driven animation series, and that's how it all started. In Skibidi Multiverse by No Skill Clutch, there is a war between Skibidimen and camera toilets. But then something unexpected happens as a classic cameraman without the toilet arrives to the party and breaks the canon events of this whole alternative reality. He wants to help, but instead he simply breaks the laws of time and space by not letting Titan Speakerman get infected in this universe, which creates chaos and opens the doors to this universe for all the other multiverses that coexist with this one at the same time. And that's how the G-Man from the original series came to this multiverse and started fighting on Skibidiman's side as well. And it really messes up with everyone's head in this multiverse because the alternative G-Man also stays here, which walks on legs and looks humanoid. And it creates an interesting situation with two G-Men coexisting at the same time, and I love it. So as No Skill Clutch bases his multiverse directly on the events of the original series by Boom, the character of G-Man also stays pretty close to the original Jimmy, only this time there are two of them at the same time fighting on Skibidiman's side, and it's insanely awesome. It's like double trouble if you'll ask me. The guys seem to be operating really good together while combining their forces, and it creates a perfect harmony. And from that, it's already not that interesting to see our original Jimmy from the original series all alone. But on the other hand, the original Jimmy has much stronger plot development in my opinion, but I'll discuss it with more details a little bit later. And now let's move on to the last multiverse in my list, namely to the very well-known Skibidi Multiverse by Dom Studio. In there, the original plot events from the original series starting from episode 58 get disrupted and alternated by the new Clockman's race, who is changing the canon as well. That's how multiple new characters appear and combat some of the characters from the original series, G-Man included. Like it happened in episode 4 when we saw the appearance of both the original G-Man and Skibidi Scientist, who simply got wrecked by Titan Clockman. We didn't see G-Man for a long time after that in this multiverse, but in episode 26 it turns out that he still remains the important plot link when the POV finds the folder titled G-Man Apocalypse. I find it to be really possible that G-Man might reappear in this universe really soon, and he will bring lots of mysteries or cool details to unpack with him. Will he be another slave toy of the Alpha, or will it turn out that he's actually higher in rank than her? Or that he's somehow involved in some bigger issue than her, and all this Skibidi versus the Alliance War? To tell you the truth, guys, that's what makes the mysterious G-Man from Dom Studios' multiverse pretty close to the original G-Man from Boom series, as we're currently waiting episode 72 to answer a lot of important questions. And G-Man is supposed to be right in the middle of them all. Now it's time to compare all the G-Men I mentioned today and decided who's going to be the best one among them. Let's start from the end, actually. So G-Man from Dom Studios' multiverse is practically non-existent at this point. But we as viewers are getting constant reminders of his character due to the mysterious plotline called G-Man Apocalypse. That means that we are still about to see him in the future episodes and reveal some really cool mystery connected to him. But for now, it still hasn't happened. So I give the point to the original G-Man, who keeps evolving and getting more dangerous and aggressive with every episode. Plus, our original Jimmy got plenty in his store as well in terms of plot arcs and final mysteries, so I can find them out in Boom series too. Now let's compare Jimmy with two G-Men from No Skill Clutch Multiverse. What makes this battle a bit uneven is the fact that we're basically putting two G-Men against one. But there is one trick in here as well. You see, the original Jimmy evolved so much by the moment episode 71 was released. And G-Man from the late episodes by Boom and G-Man from the earliest episodes are two pretty much different characters. While in No Skill Clutch universe, both G-Men are still in the earlier stages of their development. And despite the fact that there's double trouble factor happening in this multiverse, I would still give the point to our good old Jimmy from Boom series. And now it's time for the final round, and oh boy, it's not going to be an easy choice for me. In the beginning of the video, I asked you guys to guess what multiverse is my favorite one. And if you wrote Zombie Universe by Monster Up, then you guessed it right. I absolutely love this series and how a plot in it looks like. And I also adore the good guy G-Chad, who's fighting together with the Alliance's forces and showing real emotions, which makes him stand out so much. Plus, at some moments of the multiverse, he becomes even more powerful than Gman from episode 71, and it's really cool to see. So guys, what can I say here? G-Chad from Monster Up series is good both in terms of character development and combat power. And even though I love the original Jimmy with all my heart too, I am going to announce G-Chad as a winner. Do you guys agree with my ranking or not? Do you have some other favorite G-Man? And if it is so, then write about it in the comments section below, because I'm always really invested in your opinion, guys, even when it's different from mine. And that was all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and Discord server if you haven't somehow done it yet, not to miss my new interesting videos. And that was me, IsoToilet. See ya!